Welcome, friends, to this week's Bible Moment. We are still in our Survivor series, and we are in week 3. So, to recap, do you remember who our first survivor was? Yes, you are correct. It was David. David fought a hard battle against Goliath with his sling and his rock, and threw it and whacked Goliath right in the head. So that was our first survivor, and Goliath was voted off our island. Our second survivor was Rahab, how Joshua sent 2 spies into her city and to scope it out and to defeat it, and Rahab helped our 2 spies. And then this week, let's dive in to week 3 and find out who this week's survivor is. Now remember, our first week with David and Goliath was make a plan. We wrote out a plan of how we would go about surviving, and last week was build a lean-to. I was in a lean-to telling the story about Rahab and the spies, and this week is start a fire. You'll see clips throughout this video about fire. My son was starting a fire. I started a fire on the stove. Oh, which reminds me, look, I brought out, you might see these during the 4th of July. Oh, let's see if I can get my flame to work. If I can't, I can't. Oh, well, I brought a sparkler out, and I thought I could start a fire, but I think the wind is blowing out my, flame, nope. The Lord is here to help me. There we go. Look, did you play with these during the 4th of July? This week is start a fire, and it says, in the wild, survival is dependent on fire to cook, for food, and to keep us warm. In the kingdom of God, God is the fire that makes us thrive. So this week we are going to be reading in our Bible in Exodus 3 verses 1 through 20. And while that is continuing to burn, because I don't want to burn the grass, there we go. We will read this series Bible verse. Remember, you'll have those in your packet, the Bible verse, but it is in Psalm 29:11, and I can read it from here, or which one? This says, the Lord gives strength to his people, the Lord blesses his people with peace. I thought it was in my page check. It's Psalm 29, and remember, 29 is your big number. Chapter number. I go too many and then I go too big. There you go, 29:11. Here we go. That's what it says. The Lord gives strength to his people. The Lord blesses his people with peace. I'm going to move my little ribbon to that area. But that has been our Bible memory verse throughout this series. And this week, like I said, we're reading in Exodus. chapter 3, verses 1 through 20. And I'm going to begin our story and this my love for the Action Bible. And this week's story is about Moses and the burning bush. So Moses works as a shepherd for his father-in-law for 40 years. 40 years is a lot. And it is spoken of in a lot throughout the Bible stories. You'll hear the number 40. But for 40 years, the flocks of Jethro, which is his father-in-law, increases. But one year, the grasses dry up, and Moses leads his sheep to pastures near the mountain of Sinai. Remember we spoke about that? Moses went up Mountain Sinai and came down. Remember what he brought down? All right, let's continue on. So once Moses reached the top of the Mount Sinai with his sheep, he just sits there and kind of ponders by his fire while his sheep are resting. And he's like, but even after all these years, Moses cannot forget the Hebrew people in Egypt. He sits and he says, I wonder if Pharaoh is still alive and what has become of my sister Miriam and my brother Aaron. Remember what Aaron created in our story in these past videos? All right, back to today's videos. So Moses was wondering about the Hebrew slaves still struggling under the whips of Egyptian rulers. One day, he looks up and sees a strange sight in the mountain. He's like looking up. Have you ever seen something at a glance of your eye and you wasn't quite sure what it was? That's how Moses did. And so he started walking towards the sight he was seeing. A bush was on fire, yet it was not burning up. He steps closer, and then from the fiery bush calls out, Moses? At least that's how I picture God's voice. Do you ever think about how do you hear God? When you read your devotions or in your head, or someone said when God spoke, how do you hear him? I always think of him as a big, fatherly, loving voice. And Moses says, I'm here. Once again, Moses starts towards the bush, but the same voice in the bush warns him, don't come any nearer. Take off your shoes because you are standing on holy ground. How awesome would that be? What do you think holy ground would feel like between your toes? It's like taking off your socks and shoes and walking through grass. How sometimes it's kind of cool against your feet, but then sometimes you stand on rocks and it kind of hurts. So he takes off his sandals and puts his feet on the ground. I am the God of your father and the God of your ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Moses immediately hides his face, puts it towards the ground in fear at being addressed by the one true God. And God speaks, I have seen my people suffer in Egypt, and I have come down to save them. I want you to bring them out of the land, and then you will lead them to a new home, a land flowing with milk and honey. Now go, I am sending you to Pharaoh. But Moses says, who am I to speak to Pharaoh of Egypt? Who am I to lead the Hebrews? I am not a leader. I am your leader, God says, and I am with you. Believe me that you and the Israelites will come to worship me on this very mountain. This is Moses again, I am not a prophet of a priest. What am I asked? What if they ask me your name? And God says, I am who I am, and I will perform my wonders against the Egyptians. What if they don't believe me? Moses is doubting. Throw me your staff. Throw your staff, and that's his walking stick, on the ground, God says. So Moses immediately throws his staff, and his staff turns into a venomous snake, and Moses turns and runs in terror. God causes Moses to come back. Then he tells Moses to pick up the snake. Oh, I couldn't even imagine this. But trembling, and with the power of God, so he picks up his snake, which was his staff, and it immediately turns back into his staff, his walking stick. The Lord has given Moses the power to do this miracle and 2 others so he can make the people believe him. Still, Moses is afraid. My mind would be blown. I am not a good speaker. I cannot do this job, Moses says. But God is tired, sick and tired of Moses' excuses. God says, I made your mouth, didn't I? I can make you speak with it too. But very well, I am sending your brother Aaron to meet you. I will help you both speak. Now go. And that is this week's story. So Moses is our survivor. And maybe later we could pick up to where him and his brother Aaron meet Pharaoh and wonder what goes on. All right, well, it's time to pack up my bags and head over. Got a little bit of walking ahead of me. Let's go over to Snacks and Crafts. Okay, this week's survivor snack to go along with our reading, the Moses and the Burning Bush. Lauren and I came up with 2 ideas. Now I'm sure after this video I'll probably come up with a lot more. If you have videos or ideas for the video, or a snack that would go along with our story, or a snack you'd like Lauren and I to try, hey, give us a shout. We'll do it. All right, so on to this week's Burning Bush. Remember, it was Moses and the Burning Bush, and I got a napkin here because I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the video, but I drew, this is just a clear cup, and I drew a bush already on my cup. If you can see that, the white napkin helps. But I drew a bush on each side of my clear cup, and that's what Lauren's going to do. And what are you going to use to draw your bush?
I'm going to use a brown marker and a green marker too.
All right, and we came up with 2 ideas you could put in your cup. Or you could just, leave your cup clear if that's your choice. And I used it, it won't come off on your fingers, but it might, like if your fingers are sticky or wet. Or we are going to fill our snack, while Lauren draws, with Cheetos. Now Cheetos is going to act as the burning, the flames. And you know what? Actually at the store they have Flaming Hot. I have one son that would love for me to get Flaming Hot, but I know the rest of us, it burns our mouth. So today I just got regular Cheetos, but you can get anything that's red. Remember last week we made haystacks, which are all gone, or I would have brought them with me. And then the string that Rehab had to put out of her window to mark it, so her home, so when the spies came back, they knew it marked her house and it kept her and her family safe. So last week was red licorice, and that's a flame too. All right, so back to my Cheetos. Yes, I'm like, what am I doing? So we are going to use Cheetos as our flame for one snack, especially going back to school. Are you going back to school? This could be a great pack your lunch, or virtual. If you're going virtual, a little snack to have. Might get your fingers cheesy for your keyboard. Keep that napkin close by, I guess. But these, I'm trying to pile it high to cover my bush here and have like flames.
There you go.
There you go. You got your little...
On each side there.
All right. There. My little burning bush of Cheetos. And in my mind, it won't burn my mouth. My son, like I said, would have loved the Flaming Hot Cheetos. All right, so our second snack idea. There you go. You can fill your, or you can snack. So there's the snacker, right? Yep. All right, so this is our clear cup, and I kept it clear just so you can see our snack. But then again, you can fill it in your little bush cup that you've drawn. I'm going to put, Lauren chose creamy Italian, but we used our vegetables. These are sweet peppers, or tri peppers, and I know I'm making you Eat your vegetables. I know a lot of snarl up the nose and eye rolling, but you know what? Vegetables are good for you. So we are going to use a red pepper, yellow pepper, and an orange pepper to represent the flames once again as the burning bush. And have you ever heard how, you know, when I think of the burning bush, I don't know, this just came to me. It's like, how does God miraculously speak to you? Like, what would you think if you saw a burning bush and a voice coming out of it? I would want to look around it, make sure, is there someone behind me? Oh, food for thought, huh? Right when we're doing snack. All right, and you can use ranch. We're using creamy Italian. We like to dip our veggies in creamy Italian. Again, good back to school snack to pack in your lunch or eat at your computer. Remember, wash your hands. Yep. All right, and then I'm gonna have Lauren decorate, since this is her snack, decorate her own snack with flames. Like I said, I don't know if I could hold this up without spilling it, but it's oh, that's all right. Van away. Peppers, red, yellow, and orange. So she's gonna fill her little cup, oops, sorry, fill her little cup with firing flames for this week's snack. There, and then turn it, maybe do a little yellow. It'll go. And this makes it fun for you kids, right? Because then you get to decide. It's not all red, it's not all yellow. You get to create your own snack. So while Lauren's doing that, I hope you've enjoyed our snack time. And we will go rinse our hands once again after this and create this week's snack.
I'm on my own, broken and alone. I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. We're searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there.
Alright, this week's craft to go with our Moses and burning bush, we are going to make a burning bush. And actually we drew a little bush if you would like to, or there we go. Lauren's going to demonstrate that, and then we will jump into, I'm hoping, I'm going to try to do a lava lamp, do an experiment. And why I say hope is because I only have enough ingredients to do it one time. So I apologize right now if this doesn't work, but it's supposed to be a lava lamp is what I'm going to attempt. And remember last week with Rehab and the Spies, we made soap. We have not washed our soap down yet, but when we wash it down, do you remember what Lauren put in here? Do you remember? Tell
I
them.
do.
Tell them.
It's a toy car.
What color is it?
It's red.
Red, that's right. It was a little Matchbox red car. That was our, oh, you know what? And I bet in my bag too, I have the other crap that we made to go along with Rehab and the Spies. We dig down deep. Yep, there it is. Remember, we did the I Spy jar. We had all these funness in there. Yeah, shake it around.
See the paper clips, the erasers.
The erasers.
There, pom-poms.
I know, right? There's another purple eraser. There's a lot of stuff.
Oh, crayons.
Yep, crayon. We tried to stick a pencil in there, but it was too tall.
So we had to take it out.
And last week, remember, you can make your I Spy out of a water bottle. And for those who are on sensory or love sensory stuff, the crinkleness, that's what word I was trying to think of last week, is sensory. I like the crinkleness. All right, Lauren, you walk us through how to make your burning bush.
All right, so how you're going to make the burning bush, you will need a coffee filter.
Have we used those before?
Yes, we have. When we used the coffee filters, they were, when we did the caterpillar one with Adam and Eve.
Yeah, that's
in the
right.
garden.
And it was the butterfly.
And it was the butterfly's wings, and we made the butterfly's wings out of this.
Right, because this is what our flame is. Here's one. And then I made one. This is, oh, whoops, if it blows away, I've got more. But these is just a paper coffee filter, and Lauren's going to show you how we colored them.
All right, so
Whoa.
how we colored them was, I'm just going to set that one.
Yeah, that's one.
How we colored these was we grabbed a yellow,
Oops, sorry.
a yellow and red and orange marker. And then we grabbed our spray bottle. And then we colored it. And then we colored it.
Just
And you can start out with the orange or the yellow, but I'm going to start out with the red.
And it doesn't have to be all solidly colored because your colors will bleed once we add the water. Good job.
Okay, I'm finished with the red now. Now I need the orange.
Oh, the window. That's okay. You'll wash. Thankfully, they're washable markers.
Might go back over because I don't think I'm going to color all that yellow.
That's all right. Color in the spaces. Just start making swirls. Oh, that looks so good. That almost, it reminds me of our peppers that we made for snacks. Red, yellow, and orange. All right, now let's just make swirls. Go ahead, make swirls everywhere. Make swirls. Anywhere you want, swirls. All right, now let's finish it off.
Now we are going to get our little spray bottle and we are going to spray the whole entire thing. Make sure you get it really wet.
Yes, there we go. See how it's starting to bleed the colors? Yes. Go ahead, keep spraying. Yep, you got it. There you go. See? Now when you hold it up, here, once you hold it up, that's gonna dry so pretty. That's it. There, look how pretty. And then the white, you won't even see it because you'll crinkle it and set it right down in your toilet paper holder, right? Now what'd you do with this when you made your cup?
Alright, so
That's okay.
what we did with this is we grabbed some scissors and we grabbed a toilet paper roll and then we cut lines. Now make sure you have a parent with you so you don't cut yourself.
That's true. Now have we used our toilet paper roll like this before?
Yes, we have. We've used this toilet paper roll like this before when we did our sunshine that we put the tissue paper on it. And we made the sunshine and we cut it just like this. And we thought that you can make it as a sunshine stamp or a flower.
Yeah, that's when, if you remember, when Moses came down from Mount Sinai, which I mentioned earlier, when he brought the 10 Commandments, that's when I was quizzing you, but his face was so radiant, like the beautiful sun.
Now you cut it all the way around.
Yeah. And you can just use one of ours.
And then hold on.
And smash it, like with your hand. Smash them down in there. There you go.
And put it up a little bit.
But it doesn't have to be all the way. There you go. There you go. Look how lovely.
And then
And you could actually carry it as a torch. Let it be your light. Sit it by your Chromebook when going back to school. And always remember the burning bush. All right, let's move on to an experiment Lauren and I found. Like I said, it's a lava lamp. And I did not try this before. Usually like making a craft, make it ahead of time. I didn't because I didn't have enough ingredients. So let's cross our fingers that we are about to be wowed. But we will need a water bottle and leave about, I would say that's probably about 1/4 of water. And this water represents you and me. This is us walking through life with Jesus in our heart. And we are going to add to this water some vegetable oil. Now, oil and water do not mix. So the oil acts as sin. We never ever want sin in our lives, right? But sometimes it just creeps in, or we fall for it. That's okay, because remember, down here at the bottom, we have Jesus, always with us. So I didn't bring out a funnel, so thank goodness I'm doing this outside if I spill it. And fill this up to the top. All right, that is good.
Whoa,
And
it doesn't go.
Exactly, you're right. See, that's Jesus. Jesus is helping lift all of that sin out of our lives and keep us away from sin. We know better, right? We know we have Jesus. He's with us all the time, and it's hard. It is hard. We do fall for sin. Just remember, we have Jesus as our shield to fight it for us. Okay, that being said, you know what? I grabbed my food coloring, and you know what a popular color is in my house that I don't have? Red. I wanted red to represent Jesus's blood, right? Jesus sacrificed his life, his blood for you and for me, for our salvation. And that's what I'm going to drip in here. Hopefully pink and yellow. I have that because you know red and yellow makes orange to go along with our flame theme this week. And this represents the Lord's blood.
Wait,
it is going to...
that's not yellow.
Yeah, it's yellow. Watch, it'll turn yellow. But it'll drip through the sin, and it'll come down for our lives. And then, oh, hopefully our magic will happen. Let's see. All right, let's put in, this is pink. It's supposed to be red. But hopefully it looks like red. Hopefully it'll barrel through the oil and go down eventually to the water. I don't know, that's what it said. And this little experiment is on Lifeway.
Oh, it does.
There it is, look. Jesus' blood, he sacrificed for us. This is so exciting. All right, well there, I don't even think I need the yellow. I think the pink actually looks pretty good.
It's literally like falling.
Yep, there, because Jesus is with us. I'm telling you all, keep Jesus in your heart. Okay, now for the final, hopefully, wowness, is I'm gonna add Alka-Seltzer. Now I have done crushed them up. These come in 2 to a pack. We've got 2 Alka-Seltzers here. Now, see, we're supposed to dump it in there and let it react, and then Jesus will break through the sin. Now, if this doesn't work, Jesus still breaks through your sin. This is just an experiment I just wanted to try, and I didn't have enough to try it beforehand. So let's just hope. I don't know how I'm gonna
hope this works.
I know how to sprinkle that in there. If so, I'll just grab it with my hands and throw it in there. All right, here we go. Or it explodes all over my table.
And then it gets all over the other crafts.
That's all right. Oh, look, it's making a lava. I see the bubbles at the top. Look at that go.
And all the little bubbles right there.
It's probably going to explode out of the top. But before I let you go and it explodes everywhere, you guys, it worked. It's bubbling from the top. So let's do this together. I want you to share your experiments with me. All right, you guys, I'm going to have to cap this off, and then we will rejoin with you next week. Love you all. All right, we have come to the end of our Bible moment for today after learning about Moses and the burning bush. And once again, I have gathered my family tribe, and we have discussed and voted who is leaving the island tonight. And I've tallied the votes. Tonight's person leaving the island is Barrow. Barrow, I'm sorry, but fire that represents life is out.